Welcome and happy Easter. One morning past daybreak, as the crowd slowly gathered, like a sheep he was humble to his Father's own will. So sad was his face that the birds stopped their singing. They were walking our Lord up Calvary's hill. Now let's go back and see what led up to this event. Keep in mind, the Bible was originally written for the Jews, God's chosen people. And Jesus will do two things that Satan will use against him. Jesus was a hunted man. Even while he was in the womb, Satan wanted him out of the way. An angel appeared to Joseph one night and told him to take the mother and child to Nazareth so he can become a Nazarene, Jesus of Nazareth. Meanwhile, the king heard about a king that was going to be born. How dare he? I'm the king. So he sent out an order to kill every male child under the age of 3 throughout Jerusalem. But see, Jesus was not there. He was in Nazareth. He is now a Nazarene. Jesus did wonderful, marvelous miracles on the Sea of Galilee, around the Sea of Galilee, throughout Jerusalem and throughout Bethlehem. He rose the dead. He made the lame walk, the deaf to hear. He healed a little woman one time with the issue of blood. And she said, if I could only just touch the hem of his garment. And she did. He had many followers, the Jews, his chosen people, and some non-Jews, the Gentiles. Truly, this is the chosen one, the King, the promised one. Look what he's doing. But then, how dare he? How dare this impostor? If he was truly a king, he would be wearing a crown of jewels. He would not have been born in a stable. He would have been born in a palace. He would not have come riding on a donkey. He would have been pulled in a golden chariot by beautiful horses. So how dare this impostor? Then the night in the judgment hall, the person that was over it, while looking at Jesus, he said, this is an innocent man. I wash my hands with it. But yet his followers said, crucify him, crucify him, crucify the impostor. To say you were a king back then and weren't, and to say that you were something of a high rank, a person of a high rank, it was death, and that death was by the cross. You would join the murderers and the thieves on the cross. When they said crucify him, Jesus disowned the Jews at that time and adopted the Gentiles, the non-Jews, you and me, letting us in on it, letting us in on the Bible. See, the Bible was originally written for them. He in no way hates Jews, don't get me wrong. This was a way for everybody. A way for everybody. Then they nailed him to the cross. They placed a crown of thorns upon his head, and above his head on the cross, the King of Jews. They made fun of him. They even gimbled his garments. gimbled off his garments. They took him down from the cross and laid him in a tomb. One morning past daybreak, Mary walked up the hill of Calvary. So sad was her face because they killed Jesus, the chosen one. Upon arrival to the tomb, she saw the stone rolled back. She began to weep, thinking someone had come and stole the body of Jesus. And then she heard the word, Mary. She knew that voice. That was Jesus' voice. She turned and she saw him standing on the outside of the tomb. She ran from the mountain and told others about him. He's no longer in the tomb. He rose from that tomb. Several years ago, the maker of Titanic had a dig in Israel, Jerusalem, and found a grave that would date back to the year 33, at the time Jesus died. In that grave, there was a name called Jesus. And he said he could blow the lid off of Christianity. Because still in that grave was a skull and bones. Jesus did not rise up. That's what he thinks. I just hope, well, the Bible scholars told him during this time there were a lot of people named Jesus. And he found one of those graves. I hope these people met the real Jesus before they passed. Because graves like Jesus of Bethlehem, Jesus of Jerusalem, Jesus of Galilee, don't mean a thing to me. Because I look at that man that was born in Bethlehem, that became a Nazarene, that walked on the Sea of Galilee, and walked up the hills of Calvary and was crucified. He now sits at the right hand of the Father. And one morning past daybreak, he's returning. His grave is not here on the earth. There was no grave. His tomb is empty. And he's alive now, and he's alive forevermore. Amen? Happy Easter.